So welcome everybody to this, the fifth in the student webinar series for 2021. And these webinars are replacing the student days we normally have. We'd normally have one day in Dublin and one day outside Dublin for adults who've returned to do literacy, numeracy and digital skills, and ESOL learners and distance learners. So you're all very welcome. And we're recording this session for people who might not be able to make it today, and we'll put it up on our YouTube channel. And I'm delighted to welcome Joan Fitzpatrick from Bray Adult Learning Centre and Kathy Orr, who is the coordinator of the Learning Support Service in Kildare and Wicklow Education and Training Board. So you're both very welcome and we're delighted to have you here. And just to say that Bray Adult Learning Centre has been, I suppose, to the forefront in a way of learning digitally. So we're really glad, especially to have you here today to run this workshop. And thanks for that. Bray has done some EU projects on digital learning and also set up their own website called Get Connected that I think they'll bring you through today. So just, I think Kathy's going to cover how to take part a little bit today, but in the main, we're going to have, we're going to be there, Kathy and Joan are going to talk for about 20 minutes, and then we'll have questions after that. So look, everybody, just to say you're very welcome here today, and as I said, I'm delighted to pass on now to Kathy from Kildare and Wicklow ATB. All right, thanks.
I think maybe if you want to go first, Joan, and I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, okay. So good morning, everybody. And as Margaret said, welcome to this webinar on tips for digital learning. My name is Joan Fitzpatrick. I work for Kildare and Wicklow Education and Training Board in Bray Adult Learning Centre. I work with students who are using digital technology every day to help develop their reading, writing and communication skills. And I'm working this morning with my colleague, Kathy Orr.
Hello, I'm Kathy Orr. I used to work at, sorry, I'll go back here. Used to work at Bray Adult Learning Centre as a tutor, and now I'm working in the new support service that KWETB has started to support learners in their courses, and really delighted to be here today.
Okay, so what are we going to offer you this morning? Well, the plan for the webinar this morning, first of all, and during the webinar, we're going to hear from students at Bray Adult Learning Centre who will be talking about their experience of using digital technology for learning. Kathy and I are going to share some tips and tools that we hope you'll find useful. And then at the end, there will be time to hear from yourselves. You might have a question you want to ask about something, and we'll do our best to answer it. Or you might have something that you'd like to share with us about your own experience of using digital technology for learning. And I think on the next slide, we have a nice photograph of Bray Adult Learning Centre, which is beautifully situated near the seafront in Bray. I'm just going to pause here for a moment and maybe check that everyone is muted.
I'll do that, yeah.
And thanks. And during the webinar, you are going to see and hear some recorded reflections from 3 of the students who have been working in this centre, and they are Rosie Griffith, John Hughes and Christine Plunkett. And between them, they have several years of experience now of using digital tools for learning and some really useful insights on the student experience of using technology for learning. And we are very grateful to them for sharing their experience and their insights with us today. So a lot to do and no more time to waste. I'm going to hand over to Kathy to get us started.
Thanks very much, Joan. Now, so I'm just going to show you a little portion of the video that we recorded when we met up with the students and asked them for their thoughts on learning using digital tools. A big part of the learning over COVID has been through video, giving people opportunity to watch a video on something new that they want to learn over and over again. So that's generally what they've been talking about in this little portion. So I'll just play the video. Apologies, the music might be quite loud at the start, but I've kept the volume up just so that you can hear the conversation afterwards. So a big welcome, Rosie, Tina and John, and thank you so much for joining us and for being our digital pioneers. We really do appreciate you being so open to trying out new ways of learning. I'm going to hand over to Joan now to give you the opportunity to share your experiences.
So I'm going to start with Rosie. And Rosie, you talked about feeling prepared for class, that having these videos helped you to feel that when you came to class, you were ready. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
I think it's great, like, because before that, if you didn't really have the video, Cassie, the tutor, would say something to you and you'd be like, oh, I'm after forgetting it, but she'd send you the video and then, I got it then and I'd be more confident then when I come in, or I'd send her and I'd say, I've got all that right, because the video is fabulous. They are great.
Yeah. And do you feel it's made you a different type of learner? Are you more independent in yourself, or how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I'm more independent now myself, yeah.
And how would you see that?
Maybe stronger.
Yeah.
Just to get on the tablet and not to be afraid of it. Like the videos, it's showing you loads of things. So,
yeah.
I'm more kind of afraid of it.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Rosie. And Tina, you talked about, having the tutor's voice and being able to hear the information, that it wasn't just the notes, that being able to hear it was useful.
For me, I couldn't write down the notes quick enough in class. So then when you hear something, it would help you remember what actually went on in class. So it helped you with what you had to do. And in teamwork, and then I had a video of Lord of the Rings, and it was brilliant because I could stop it and start it, stop it and start it. And yeah, I just loved it because it helped me immensely. I find it great. I wish I was starting all over again, because now with the videos, you're learning more. You're learning more from it, basically, Joan, from the videos. And you're following step by step, and there's something else going in. It's going in quicker, and it stays there a bit longer, because if you haven't got the notes, you're lost or whatever. And, but the video is there, and you can step by step, and you can go along and you get through it. It helps you. Mind you might have to play it over and over about 20 times, but you're getting there, and it really helps. It really does help. The videos are great.
And because you've done quite a few courses in the centre, so you've seen the change from the more traditional way of teaching and learning to this new and different way, and you can see the difference.
Yes, John. It's much easier. It does help. It's great to have the tutors, but it is great to have the videos when you're at home trying to get the homework or getting things together and whatever you're doing, whatever part you're doing, and to have the videos step by step, it really wakes your brain up a bit, whatever. It keeps you focused on the thing, so
good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So a big thanks to our students. We're going to hear a bit more from them later on. But as you can see, they've really taken like ducks to water to all the new digital approaches that were so very needed in COVID times. So we're just going to show you, as Joan mentioned, a few tools that might help you in your learning when you're learning digitally. First of all, I'm going to start with the kind of most common device. I believe there was a survey done recently saying that 9 out of 10 people in Ireland have a smartphone now, and it's a really very powerful tool for learning. So I'm just going to show you a very few things on the phone, and then Joan's going to show you a really useful app that you can put on your phone to brush up your skills. So 3 ways that you could use your phone to help you in your learning. It could help support your reading. If you prefer to listen to things, if you find that information goes in better when you're hearing it instead of when you're reading it, I'm going to show you a tool that helps you to read information out loud. If you like the backup of saying a message instead of writing a message, then I'm going to show you a tool for how to speak your messages. And then the third thing is I'm going to show you one way when you're carrying out searches online where you can check your spellings. So I hope you'll find these useful. So first of all, for some of these things, you're going to need to put an app on your phone. And an app is really just a shortcut to get to a website, a handy way to get into a website. And to get apps onto our phone, if you've got an Apple phone, it's generally this blue symbol here, the App Store. That's how you get your apps on. You go into the App Store and you download, you put it onto your phone. If you've got a phone that isn't an Apple phone, then generally that's called an Android phone, and you're going to be going into something like Google Play to put an app on your phone. So once you've got the apps onto your phone, then you're ready to go. So two apps here that can help to read out the written word for you, whether you get a piece of post in through your door, whether you've got a written handout or a page in a book, and you just would prefer to listen to it. You feel that that would give you a better understanding of what it's all about. There are two apps that you can put on your phone that really help with this. Lens also, if you are, if English isn't your first language, Lens also will translate it into your language for you. So it's a really useful tool. So there's Office Lens and there's ClaroScan, and these are what the apps, the icon, the symbol looks like when you're looking for them on Google Play or the App Store. And what these do are you take a photograph of the piece of paper that you want read out to you, and then you just press a button on the app and the app reads it out loud for you. So I'm just going to show you a little video just explaining how that works.
Open the Office Lens app on the device. Choose Document as the format. Once the document is centered, take the picture. The picture will process, and then click Done. In the Export menu, choose the Immersive Reader. Select the Play button.
The study of Earth's landforms is called physical geography.
So you can see how handy that is. Every app works in a slightly different way, but this one, Office Lens, is very handy. You just simply take a photo and then you press play and the document starts reading out loud for you. So you can have your phone wherever you go, and it just is a very handy way to read things out loud. So I'm just going to play you a little piece of a soundbite really from another of our students, Martin, who put the ClaroScan app onto his phone, and this is how what he thought of it.
Right, I turned around, I got letters from the AA yesterday and this morning that I just took a photograph and it read the whole letter. The other day I got a chicken and ham pie from Aldi, and I've never got it before, and I actually photographed the back of the box, and it read the instructions how to cook it, the whole lot, proper cooking times, which I've never done before. I've always had to ring my sister-in-law or ring my niece, and it's just revolutionised my life. It's totally revolutionised my life. It's changed my life completely. As I said,
So you can see what a difference it's made for Martin. It's just made things so much handier. He can scan anything that comes through his door, or any handouts, or even he's gone to the supermarket, and it's just really he can listen to any instructions or anything that he needs to check exactly what it's saying. So that is reading the written word out loud, and being able to listen to it. So now I want to show you a way where you can speak your messages. So it's a little bit different from when you are leaving a voice message. Say somebody's not in and they don't pick up the phone. You can use this green microphone here, as you may know, on WhatsApp to leave somebody a voice message. But this is just a little bit different. This is where you're dictating your messages, you're speaking the message, and then the phone types the message up for you. So it's called speech to text. So you'll need to locate a black microphone on your keyboard, on your phone keyboard. Sometimes you might have to go into settings to add this to your keyboard, and other times, you know, you might find that it's there already. It's this little black microphone here, and this is the speech to text where you can speak a message and the phone will type it up. So again, I just want to show you a little video of this working in action. So this was me speaking a message into WhatsApp. So I'll just go back because it's moving very quickly there if I can. Yeah, I should have slowed down how I was doing it. So you can see there, here is the microphone that you need, the speech to text microphone. So I'm just tapping it, and then I wait until it comes up with a message telling me that I can speak. And then I speak and it types it out for me. So I'll just let you watch that. Hi Anna, see you on Saturday at 10 for a walk on the beach. So I hope I enabled the sound there and that you could hear that. So you can see then that you can just press the green arrow when you're finished, and you can check the message, just check your spellings and make sure it's saying exactly what you want it to say. But it's a very handy way to type up your messages. So and then the third thing I wanted to show you was spellings. Now we're all a little bit preoccupied with everything, you know, are we spelling things right? And there are lots of different ways that you can check this on the phone. If you've got predictive text on, then as you're typing, suggestions will be coming up for the word that you might want, and that's very helpful. But I just want to show you one more way that you could maybe use your phone quickly if you're in a class and you were doing a piece of writing and you just want to check one particular word and then move on. If you're writing with pen and paper, you can search it in Google the same way as you would search anything in Google. So you're using the microphone in Google. So I'll just show you the video of that. How do you spell Saturday?
Saturday is spelled S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y.
So you can see I went into Google. I'll just try and stop it at the right point. It's running away from me. I'll try it one more time, sorry. So it's this microphone here that you want on Google. So you're going into Google as if you're carrying out a search, and instead of typing in this bar here, you just press on this mic and then it types up what you want. So in my case, I was asking, how do you spell Saturday? So it typed it out into the search, and then it reads it back out and comes up with the spelling for Saturday. So that's just a handy way to check spellings quickly. So I'm going to hand over to Joan now. I don't know if you want to share your screen and enable your sound, Joan, and Joan's going to tell us about Quizlet.
Okay, so am I functioning? No.
Yeah, we can hear you, Joan.
You can hear you, okay.
Yeah.
Kathy, can you just remind me what I need to do to make sure? Well, I don't know if I have any sound that's coming up on mine, so.
Unless you wanted to play the voiceover for Quizlet, but
No, I think I'll talk through that video,
Okay.
as we said, yeah, and just play. Did you put one up without the sound or what?
Yes, yes. So it'll be there in the next slide.
Yeah, so I'll just talk through that then.
Yeah.
I'll play it and talk over it. Okay.
Grand.
I'm just going to take those pictures off the screen. Okay, sorry, I need to move on to where you were on the. Is there a fast way of going through this?
Sorry, I should have made a shortcut.
That's okay. We're nearly there. And okay, so I am going to talk to you about Quizlet, and Quizlet is a really handy app. This is what it looks like, and you can use it to practice different skills, reading, new words, spelling, and you can also use it then at the end of a piece of learning to check your learning. And the feedback we get from students on Quizlet is that they really like it. There's a game element in Quizlet, so you're sort of playing against yourself, or maybe playing against your friends in your class, which encourages you to go back again and again to have a look at it. So I'm just going to see, hopefully I can drag this bar. Great stuff. So what I'm going to show you first on my PC is just a number of different ways that students and tutors are using Quizlet, and then I'm going to show you how it works on the phone, because that's really where it's best used for learning. But just to look at the range of things that people are doing on it. So this is a set of words based on the kitchen and things that we find on the kitchen, and Quizlet really is just a set of flashcards like this. And you have the word and the picture. So if you're a language learner, or you're learning a new set of words for a piece that you're reading or something you're going to write, you're matching word and picture and learning those. This is a set that students are using for spellings. So it's the plurals of all these words ending in F. So one leaf, many leaves. And again, you have a whole set of flashcards to help you to learn those. We can also use Quizlet for maths. These are students using them to learn the 24-hour clock. So what does 1 o'clock look like in the afternoon on your digital clock? It looks like 13 hours, and you work through that. Now here's 2, and it looks like 14. It's not so nicely stacked up when you're actually learning it. They will shuffle the cards, so you will have to think about it. And this is another example of a class using it for maths for the different ways of expressing a unit of measurement. And you can use it right across the levels. This was a piece for team working, where students were learning definitions. Everyone on the team is committed to the goal. So they were getting used to the language of the course and the language of the module, and they had the words on the flashcards so that they could learn them. And again here, for a childcare course at level 5, they're learning their definitions. There's the question, here's the answer. So they can play these and go over and over them. So if you're a tutor, if I'm creating something on Quizlet, I'm doing it on my laptop or on the PC, and this is what it looks like. But really, when you're learning it, you want it on your phone, on an app. And Kathy has already shown you how to get into the Play Store and find it. And so why is it better than on your phone? First of all, because your phone is available. You're not going to have to be opening your laptop or looking in your folder for a set of notes. Your phone is in your pocket. You have your phone with you all the time. So 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there while you're on the bus, while you're waiting for somebody to come out of school that you're collecting, you can have your phone and you can be going over those flashcards and learning the words. And we know, and I know you know, that repetition is what we really need to learn. It's always the hardest thing to make time for. So having this in your pocket that you can kind of look at it, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, you have that ability and that opportunity to do the repetition that embeds the learning and puts it in your long-term memory. So Quizlet is really good. So this is a little video that I made just to show you how it looks on your phone. So first of all, you download it through the App Store or the Play Store, whatever is going on, and this is how it looks. Can I pause it here? Yeah, when you go into your phone, then this is what will come up, all these different sets of cards, and the one I'm going to look at is the one here at the top, the IT skills. So this is a set of words put together for people doing a computer course. It might be at level 3, it might be, you know, they might be doing a little bit of work at level 2, it could be level 4, it could be any of the levels. They're learning the language of the course and the names of the different pieces of equipment. So you click on your card. I took the sound out of this, so I'm just going to have to wait for it to move on at its own pace. So I'm clicking on the card there, and eventually it'll bring us in. Is this moving? Yeah, okay. And when you click into the card, you have these words that we're going to see again and again. There's the flashcards, there's the write, because you can practice your writing. There's match and there's test, and there's going to be 12 words that we're working on. And if you scroll down to the bottom of your phone, down at the bottom, these are all the cards. There's the word and the picture. These are the words that you're going to be working on. And what's really good about Quizlet is that it gives you different ways to practice this word, but you can have a look at the words first and, you know, get sight of them. And then down at the bottom, I hope you'll be able to see it here now, there's a green bar right down at the end here where it says study this set, and you click on that, and that brings you into your options for learning. So are we going there? Yeah, there we go. And there's your flashcards, your learn, write, test, or match. And for the first one, I'm going to look at flashcards. Okay, so I'm going to, and for flashcards, it's a swipe right if you know it, swipe left if you don't. So I'm just going to pause that for a minute. So this is what the flashcard looks like. This is your word, and you'll see that when I tap on the card, it'll flip over and you'll see the picture to remind you. So you're looking at the flashcard and trying to think, do I remember what this word is? Can I read it? Do I know what it is? And then you flip the card over to test your learning. You can see down here at the bottom, there's a yellow little tab and a green little tab. So if I know the word, I'm going to flick it off to the right and you'll see the numbers rising on the green side. If I don't know it, I will flip it to the left so I can go back over it and you'll see the numbers rising on this side. So now I haven't gone through every single word on this, but you'll see how it's going. So you tap the card and there's all your software on the other side. So I got that right. Keyboard, yeah, I think I knew that one. So yep, there's the picture of the keyboard and that's going right. This one was a little bit trickier, and you can see down here, can you see that the little speaker has just gone yellow? And that is because I couldn't remember what that one was called and I wasn't sure how to pronounce that word in the middle. So I played the speaker here to read it back to me. Okay, and because I need to have another go at that, that is going to go left into the yellow pile, and you can see I've now got one. Monitor, again, I was a little bit unsure of. I'm going to speak, listen to it, and it's going, there's the picture and that's going left. And then this one I think I was okay on. So you can see that I've got 2 here and I've got 9. So now I'm finished. And it is giving me a nice little emoji. It's telling me that I got 10 right, but I've got 2 that I need to do a bit of work on. So I can go right back to the start, or I can just continue. And what it's letting me do here is go back to the 2 that I needed to practice. And I'm going to get those right this time. And I now have the option, I can do it all again, study again. So there they're all piled in. Or if I want to go on to something else, I can X out up here. And then I'm back to study this set down at the end. And when I go back in here, here we are again. And this time I'm going right down to the end to match, because match is the fun bit. So they're the kind of 2 basic ones that you want to look at, the flashcards and the match, okay? And match is a game, okay? And, okay, I'll let it go. What you're doing in match is matching the word and the picture. We've already seen them on the flashcard. Now they've been separated and you've got to tap on them to clear them off the board. So I think that was the software, the first one that I had to do. I'm trying to remember. No, it was the keyboard. So I have to hit the 2 that match. And when I get the right ones, they clear off the screen. So it's testing my word recognition, and it's also testing my understanding of the word, that I match it with the correct picture. So I know that central processing unit is that one and that this is 10. And you can see here that they have given me a time 25.7 seconds. That's how long it took me to do that. But the last time I did it, or the best time that I've done it, was 17.7. And this is where Quizlet really gets you, because obviously I'm going to want to go back. I mean, that's a disgrace of a time, and I want to get myself back to 17.6 if I can. So I'm just going to keep doing it again. And I'll also be seeing the scores of the other people in my group if they're doing it. And, you know, it tells you, oh, look, I've knocked Kathy off the top spot, which, you know, sounds good. And then she's back to knock me off the top spot. So it really engages you and gets you in there practicing. And while you're having fun and practicing, of course, you're learning those terms, and they're really being embedded into your long-term memory. So it's fun and it's light, but there's, you know, good learning going on in there. So just move that on a little bit. Okay, so we've done the game. We're back to study the set again at the bottom. And this time we are going to look at, what's it taking us to? We're going to look at the right feature. Okay, I'm just going to let him bring us into that first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. Yeah, okay, so what we've looked at for Quizlet up to now is just learning words, learning the new word, matching it with the picture, and being able to pronounce it correctly and knowing what the word means. But sometimes people want to be able to spell those words as well, or you may just, for example, the kitchen words, the plate, the bowl, whatever, you might want to be able to spell those words. So the right feature gives you the opportunity to practice writing the word. It brings up the pictures and you get to type in the word. Now, you will notice as that's happening, if you have predictive text, it tells you if you've got it right as well. If you have predictive text turned on in your phone, it will give you a prompt. You can see it, or the word itself might come up. And you know, that upsets some people, and they say, well, you know, I'm not doing a proper test here. So I would say two things to that. First of all, I mean, you can turn off predictive text if you want, and take that out completely. But even to bring up the correct prompt, you have to be putting in the beginning of the word correctly. So you need to know where you're going with the word, because it's not going to give you any prompts from the beginning. So you do need to know what you're doing. And even then, you could see there with keyboard, it was down in the bar at the end. But you know, you are training your eye to recognize that word and to recognize the group of learning of letters involved in the word. So I wouldn't get, you know, upset or be dissing myself because these prompts are coming up, because they will come up correctly if you put in the correct form of the word in the beginning. And then after that, it's, you know, as I said, you're training your eye to recognize the grouping of letters as well. So that's not, you know, such a bad thing. There is learning in all of that. Okay, I'm going to move on from that. That is the right feature. Where are we off to next? And the next one I'm going to look at is the test feature. So all of these give you flashcards. Learn is much the same. I'm going to let that just scroll a little bit, and then I'll pause it. They're all opportunities to learn. They're different ways of learning. This is the test features where you might want to see, how well have I done? Have I learned it? And look, even the match will tell you if you've learned it, because if your time is getting better, you know you're doing well. The thing to look out for here, you can see your score from the last test. They keep reminding you. Down here at the bottom, it tells you the types of questions you can choose for your test. So you can decide that you just want true or false questions, or you just want multiple choice, or you just want written, or you can have a mix. And certainly if you're not learning spelling, and you know, it's important when you're doing a piece of learning to be aware of, what am I learning here? What's my focus? Is my focus the reading of the word and recognizing the word, or is my focus the spelling? And to be clear about what your focus is in your learning, and that you're not trying to do everything at the same time. So you can see here that you can, I've shown you how to turn off the written one, and you'll see that going off in a minute, because if you're not learning spellings here, you don't need that written one on. It's only going to cause you stress. So I've turned the written one off. But for this exercise, I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to show you one of each. So I'll just pause that there so you can see it. So, sorry, it's gone off on me. Come back. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, it's hard to. Okay, so this is the true or false question. So you've got your word software, your picture of the software applications, and the question is this software true or false? And you just hit the correct one. The next one is going to show you the right option where they give you the picture and you have to write in the correct word. And the final one is, and I'll pause that there because we haven't had a look at that, is the multiple choice where it's giving you the image and you have to decide which of these options is the correct word to match that image. And so you're going to hit Windows 10 because this is the picture of Windows 10. So you have, and this is another multiple choice one here for the keyboard. You have your 3 different ways of testing your learning. And you have the flashcards to help you learn them, and match to just make it fun and make it a game. And then you're interacting maybe with your colleagues in your class as well, with the other people in your group. So Quizlet, in brief, is a really good way of embedding the learning, of giving you a very easy way of practicing and learning on the go, on the move. It's in your pocket, and really embedding the learning and keeping it in your long-term memory, which is where we all want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing here so that Kathy can come back in. Okay.
That's great. Thanks very much, Joan. That was great. And as you say, it's just been a really useful tool for us in the centre, and we've had great feedback from students. Whatever they're learning, it's just so handy to have it on your phone, and you can make a set of cards even for yourself with images that you choose. So but it is very, very versatile. So I'm just going to show you one more thing briefly, and then we'll hear from the students again, and then hopefully we'll have an opportunity to hear from yourselves too about what's been working for you. So there are many, many websites, and sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. You don't really know what's the best website to go on for a particular thing that you want to learn. And obviously NALA has a fantastic website with loads and loads of resources. So I just wanted to show you the website that was made in Bray Adult Learning Centre. During COVID, it was a kind of a way to get all the resources together that were in the centre, and send out the link, this link at the top that I'll put in the chat at the end, to send it out to students so that they could dip into the website and carry on with their learning, even though they weren't able to get their face-to-face class until we kind of got up and running with our online classes. So there are 5 sections to the website. As I say, the link is here and we'll put it in the chat, and it's open, anybody can use it. There's a learning English section, a part about developing your confidence in your writing skills, a little bit of maths, and then there's quite a lot of videos and activities to do around getting confident with using technology. So in the writing section and the learning English section, there are some talking books. So I'll just show you one of those. This was made by one of our students, and it was really about his time, his summer holidays on his farm. So he's written the piece, he's chosen the photos and added them in, and then he's added a voiceover, and it's available on the website. You can kind of work through it at your own leisure. So I'll just play a little section from it.
Summer holidays on the farm. Every summer holidays I went to my Uncle Ned's farm in Wicklow. I have many happy memories.
So there's quite a lot of books like that, like the lovely one that this learner made up on the website. And you can pick one that you'd be interested in looking at, and then there are some activities afterwards to just kind of work with maybe any new words, or just to kind of test your knowledge of your memory of the book. So so that's the talking books. And then I'll just briefly take you through a few things on the technology section. So this website works on your phone. Obviously the activities are quite small on your phone, so it'd be great if you have a tablet and a laptop, then it's probably, you know, you'll have a bigger screen to work with. So there are videos there about using a cash machine, using a train ticket machine, and then there's this little a series of kind of like a little learning unit really about getting connected and improving your digital skills. So you can, and then there are videos about how to use your phone to set your alarm, add a contact, finding out bus times. So, and then you can go into various quizzes to just check your knowledge afterwards. And there are some Quizlet cards, the app that Joan showed you as well. So that's just another idea of using a website. And I suppose it's about being able to come in at your leisure when you have a bit of free time, watching a video as many times as you want. So you get a really, you feel you get a really, get to grips with it, you get a really deep knowledge of the thing that you want to learn, and then some activities to check your knowledge on what you've learned. So I'll just show you maybe the quiz. It's the last thing. So you just click on the link where it says quiz, and then this is a Google quiz. So most of the quizzes on the website are in, they look like this. So you choose the right or the wrong answer. This is one on the calculator, and then you hit submit at the end and you'll get your score, and you can try it as many times as you like. So that's just the Bray and Wicklow Adult Learning Centre website. And so finally, just like to hear from the students again, and then I'll maybe we'll take some questions, or you can share your experiences of learning digitally.
Okay, thanks, Tina. And John, you found the videos really useful for revision, and just being able to, and you know, the different websites, just being able to go back and work at your own pace.
Yeah, it was much easier to look it up and do my homework on with the videos. That it was easier to get the answers, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm. And why was that, John? Why do you think?
Because I could take my time at it, and I could leave it. If I was getting annoyed with it, I could leave it, come back to it, look it up, mm-hmm. and you know, all that kind of things with it. Especially when I was doing my exams in technology, mm-hmm. I went on to Quizlet that one of the teachers sent some videos on, mm-hmm. and I was able to flip the cards and learn what it was about, mm-hmm. what the names of the technology stuff and all that on it.
Okay.
And that it gave me the confidence to do the exam.
Excellent, because you could work at your own pace and at your own time. Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned to me in a conversation we were having that you get lost, you know, going off doing your own reading and your own research now that you mightn't have done before.
Yes. When we were doing the project about the parrots, mm-hmm. on in Bray, I got so into it that I was going off looking up the different parties that was around Ireland, in Mayo and down in Cork, and I'd be up to half 3 in the morning looking for information.
Okay, so it's given you that confidence to do that yourself.
Yeah, it has given me a lot of confidence on the computer.
Okay,
and like it's great. Like once I started doing it, like I was going off and my homework would be lost because I'd be into getting more information about different things that had nothing to do with it, but it was about the same thing. Like,
okay,
it's about parties, and so I got mad into it.
Okay, which is really the whole purpose of learning at the end, isn't it? Just being independent and being able to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Well, like you say, Joan, down the rabbit hole.
It's a good rabbit hole. Okay, so look, thank you all for your insights and your thoughts and all of this. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Kathy.
Bye. Bye.
So thanks very much to John, Rosie and Tina for their contributions. And as you can see, the feedback is that you know, it's really developed their learning because they have time to do it at their own pace. So just a quick recap. We showed you some tools that can read things out loud if you'd rather listen to things rather than reading the printed word. A tool for speaking your text messages, so writing out your text messages for you. A tool for checking your spellings using the Google Mic. And then Joan showed you about Quizlet, which is about learning information in a kind of fun and interactive way. And then we mentioned the Bray Adult Learning website, where there are lots of videos and activities that you can dip into. So we'd love to hear from yourselves. So I think a lot of you have found the chat feature already, but I just want to remind you that if you put your cursor down here at the bottom, that it's here. You just click chat and then you can type a message to us. Or if you would prefer to say something, then you just click here where the microphone is with the red line, and that will unmute you. So I'm just going to hand back over to Joan to facilitate the chat for you. Maybe I'll stop sharing now.
Okay, I'm just going to do my screen there so I can see who we've got. So I can see from the comments in the chat that people are really interested and engaged.
Yes.
Is there anyone who'd like to?
Yeah. My name is Mark.
Hi Mark, how are you?
And I'm the Denali rep for the centre in DTLATB Loughnastown.
Okay.
And we're doing all our tech courses, our digital media courses are on iPad.
Uh-huh.
And we were doing stuff in our online learning, like we were using Kahoot, Socrative, Menti. Menti is actually very good if you've ever used that.
Well, we've tried it. How did you find it useful, Mark?
Oh yeah, it was a very good way of getting the teacher to know what areas we struggled in. Like for example, during the summer there, we did a green bingo online course. And she asked us with Menti, she sends a code, and you have to send that back.
Okay.
And then once that's up, you basically put in your 3 areas, and then whatever they were, and then she gets all the information.
Okay.
And then it's done in a sort of like a stat thing. So there'd be one area where we know a lot, and then there'd be another area where we don't, and so on. And then we also did Kahoot, which is an Apple quiz.
Okay, and what did you use Kahoot for?
Quizzes.
Okay, and how did you find that helped the learning?
I think it was for a bit of fun, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't diss that. I think it's important that learning is fun and that it's enjoyable, because I assume you were learning while you were having the fun.
Oh, yeah. And the other one we did was Socrative.
Okay.
And that's another Apple product.
Okay.
But that allows you to actually type in your questions or your answers. It gives you the question, then you type in your answer.
Type in the answer. Okay.
But basically, we can't do lists. You have to actually describe what you're doing when you put in your answers to make it more.
Okay, all right. So you've done a lot with technology. Then you find it really helpful with your learning.
And the other stuff we did then with maths would be Teams. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Google Docs. So we would get our work emails, like emailed to us and put in a share folder.
So you're a paper-free student.
What?
You're a paper-free student.
Yeah.
Very good.
And so that's really in a nutshell what we did.
Yeah.
But some of the, like the Socrative and the Menti, the Socrative was actually when we came back there a couple of weeks ago when we were doing the digital 3, level 3 skills thing.
That's when you started using that. Who are we talking to?
You're talking to Thomas here.
Thomas, how are you?
A member of NALA, actually. I would like to ask you a question about the 2 apps, or Are those free? Can you is there payment actually? Because there's an awful lot of apps you can't download without putting a fee actually into them.
No, these are free, Thomas. Yeah, Quizlet is free. What was the other one you were? Anything that we've shown is free. Yeah.
Right. I think what you've shown there so far actually this morning is fantastic. I would love to get my hands actually on that one where you can take a photo of a sheet of paper with the writing on it. It would be able to read it back to you.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
We might put the name of that in chat maybe, Kathy, so that people don't have to wait until the video
I'll do that
goes
now.
up. Yeah. And then you can put it into your app store or wherever you get your apps from. Yeah.
I get them from actually Play Store. So
yes, so you'll be able to find it there.
My phone is the touch phone.
Yeah, which is the way to go at the moment. So that's in the chat now. So you'll have the name and you'll be able to put it into your Play Store and download it. And work. Yeah, it is a great tool, and it's great as well. I know some students really like, when they're working on their reading skills, and you've practiced a piece in class, and then you go home and suddenly there's a big chunk in the middle of it and you can't remember the word, or you can't remember how the word is pronounced, and something like this, it plays the page back to you, so you can listen to it and you can check to see, have I read it correctly myself? So you can test your own learning with it, as well as the very useful things then that Martin has been talking about, like being able to, use it to read and even sometimes, just the print is so small and some of those things, that being able to take a photograph and have it.
Some of the print, you'd want a magnifying glass
so
actually to see it.
That's a way around that problem. It isn't always that you don't know the words, but it's just another way of getting past a difficulty at the back of the packet. So, it has lots of uses, and it's something that you could, share with your family. So thank you, Thomas, for that.
Fantastic. Thank you. It's been a great morning actually listening to the both of you.
Thank you. What part of the country are you coming to us from, Thomas?
I'm actually coming from Offaly.
Are you?
Not so long ago being elected as Vice Chair Tonalas.
Oh, well done.
They've been so fantastic, so to have.
It's a great organization. I would have said you were from Clare myself, so I didn't get the accent.
An awful lot of people actually think that the Vice actually, I think you might be hearing Kilkenny accident actually, and that's how you think I'm Clare.
All right, Thomas, thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to ask a question or share their experience? There's been some really nice reaction on the chat. And I suppose that the other important thing to say is, like, we've tried not to show too much this morning, but we've shown a few different things. Don't try and take everything on at once. Take one thing and make that work for you. And not everything is for everybody. So if you're using something like Clariscan and it's not, try something else. Have a look at Quizlet, or try speaking your text messages into your phone. I mean, that is just brilliant. I love doing that. So try different things at different times, and it's all about, I think, not being afraid of your device as well, and finding different ways to use it. And it's as much about convenience sometimes as learning. I think as well, I know if you're dyslexic, you need to think about how you're going to learn, but I think all of us as learners, the more different ways you try to learn something, I think that the better you will remember it, and the easier and the more interesting it is to learn. If you're always learning the one way, it becomes boring and tiresome. So, we all like variety in our learning. So that's where all these different tools and apps help us to, just to get into the topic in different ways. And I think, it doesn't have to be because there's a problem or there's a difficulty. It's just because you like to learn in different ways, and you're, expanding your skill set as you're doing it. I think that's really important.
Yes.
So we might maybe hand back to Fergal if there's nobody else who wants to, or to Margaret, sorry. Unless anybody else has something they want to add in. We're running out of time.
Sorry for interrupting. I just want to make a general point. In our digital media class yesterday, we actually had a look at the NALA YouTube channel, plus the NALA website. And our teacher recommended, now I'm a NALA member, so I didn't have to join, but she recommended that we all, that our class, you know, join up with NALA if we're interested.
Yeah, and it's you know, well worth supporting, and like you said, there are some really,
yeah, and they're very like they loved the webinars. They thought they were great. So
some great resources there. All right, Margaret, I'm going to hand back to you.
Yeah, lovely. Listen, thank you very much, Kathy and Joan. I think you've given a very informative session there. I also have put in the chat there 2 other links, one to the Learn with NALA website and also to a recent publication that we were delighted to have Kathy involved in called Digital Matters. So that might be, that has, you know, kind of how to use social media and how to get the most out of your phone and being wise online. So that might be useful for people to have a look at. It's good to download it as well because there's links in it that you can click onto. But I think you covered a lot during the session, and I think it'll be very useful that we're recording it because, you know, it means people can look back and see and check, you know, exactly how to do things again. So just to say thank you very much. And we're kind of closing up this 5 sessions we've had for student webinars. But I'd just like to thank everybody who came today as well for taking part, and wish you all the best with your learning from now on. And thanks again to Kathy and Joan. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. All right, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye.
Right, thank you. Bye.